Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Reknit podcast. I'm Emily.
I'm Roz.
And thank you very much for joining us on our 5th episode. It's going to be quite a busy episode this week, I think.
Yes.
There's lots of new acquisitions. It's still Tour de Fleece, it's still Stash Dash,
Yes.
and I have a wheel. So, yeah, it's going to be fairly packed.
Yes.
But
Mostly
first of all,
with spinning.
yeah, and a bit of knitting.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I've done no knitting. I'm a very poor knitter.
It's true.
We should have to change the name of this podcast to.
I knit and you spin,
Yes.
and
Well,
sometimes you crochet.
well, it can't be called re-knit because I've done no knitting for the past.
Respin. Anyway, yes, you can find us on various social media, such as Instagram and Ravelry. I am Ultimate Dork on both.
I'm Rosaroo on Ravelry and Rosarooney on Instagram.
And if you've been following us on Instagram for the last few weeks or so, you will have seen us doing quite a lot of updates on our spinning and our knitting as Tour de Fleece and Stash Dash get underway and continue, and have left us both very busy in terms of
Yes.
spinning and generally being quite yarny and crafty.
Yes. I've got a lot of spinning done.
Yeah, but we will get to that later. There will be a special segment at the end of today's podcast where we will talk about the wheels that we use, and I will show you my new wheel, and we'll talk about some of the stuff we've been spinning, and yeah, generally keep everybody up to date with what's happening there. But before we do that, let's start with some whips.
Okay.
Do you want to do yours first?
Okay. I have one work in progress. Again, it's the same as last week. It is the crochet square. This is the one I'm currently crocheting right now. I've put quite a lot of work into the crochet squares this week because I have. This is what all the final squares will look like. Obviously they're not all going to be this colour, but I've booked a border of this colour is called Midnight, and this colour in the middle is Petrol, around every single one of the colours.
That one matches your top.
It does, yes. This one's called Emperor, so clearly I'm some kind of empress. This one is magenta. This is some kind of light purple that I've lost the ball band for. So kind of like, oh no, this is called Fondant. This is a light blue that I don't have the ball band for. This is one of many, many, many squares of turquoise. This is a light green colour. This is a cream colour. And this one is called Aspen. Although in my head I call it Yoldi Bathroom, because we used to have a bathroom suite that was this colour. So yeah, these are the 10 colours, 11 if you count the border, that I'm going to be doing, that will be my blanket. And I've got about, I think about 17 more squares to go. And then I've got about 90 squares. No, more than that. I'll have over 100 more squares to put the board around, and then technically that would be it. I don't have to crochet them together, because once I've crocheted around all of them, I'll have done some crochet on all of them for Stash Dash.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have to crochet them together into the blanket for them to count for Stash Dash, but obviously that little bit of crocheting them together would be a little bit extra to count for Stash Dash. And I reckon that's going to be about 4,500 metres. So
Yeah, that's good.
that's a big chunk of meterage sitting, well, here and also on my windowsill at home. But yes, that is, oh, the yarn is Stylecraft Special DK. It's an acrylic. You can buy it, certainly in the UK, at pretty much any yarn shop, unless it's a very fancy yarn shop. Because there are some, oh, it doesn't have acrylic, but most yarn shops that have acrylic will have this acrylic, because it's like the sort of standard nice acrylic of the UK. And that is it for the blanket. That is it for me for works in progress that are not spinning.
Okie doke.
I'll be quiet.
Well, I have a few works in progress that are progressing, and one that's new, which is the one I'm working on right now. So I will start with this one. This is the Flax Sweater by Tin Can Knits. It's a really popular pattern on Ravelry. It's a free pattern on Ravelry by the wonderful Tin Can Knits, who do wonderful patterns, both free and paid for. So I've done, it's a top-down raglan sweater. and I've done the yoke and split the sleeves, and now I'm starting on the body of the sweater. This is the first sweater that I've ever knit in my life. So I'm doing it out of the same stuff that Roz is doing her squares out of, which is the Stylecraft Special DK. Because A, it's a lot cheaper than buying a sweater quantity's worth of animal fibre yarn. And B, if it goes wrong or it doesn't turn out exactly as I want it to, it won't matter as much because it's not made of an expensive yarn. So if it doesn't quite fit right, or I decide I don't really like it or something, it's not the end of the world, because I would have spent a fortune on it. But I'm loving it so far. Yeah, tin can knits are wonderful if you've not come across them before. They do a lot of books and things as well. They do a lot of sweaters and garments that range from really easy like this one to more complicated. But the best thing about what they produce is all of their garments are sized from newborn baby up to 4XL. So if you want, you could make a matching sweater for your entire family, from tiny baby to like biggest grown up, which is brilliant. And every pattern is sized that way. So yeah, as I say, I've split for the sleeves, and so they're on waste yarn at the moment, which they'll get finished once I've done the main body. The raglan bit is done. It's got like a pattern down the side that will continue all the way down the sleeve, down to the cuff. And now it's just round and round and stocking it until it's long enough. So this is going to be sort of a mindless knitting for a fair while. I would like to finish it by the end of Stash Dash, because this will put about 1600 meters on my Stash Dash meterage, which would be nice. So that's the aim. I was just like, I want to knit a sweater. I've never knitted a sweater and I'd like to knit one. And so I am. Yeah. That's about it really for sweaters. So that's kind of my work in progress that I'm working on the most. I mean, I started this on Wednesday?
It was definitely this week.
It was definitely this week. I think I bought the stuff on Wednesday. And it's now Sunday. And I didn't work on it yesterday because I was spinning all day. But I did work on it on Friday and on Thursday and a bit on Wednesday. So this is a few days worth of progress. So that's not bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm loving knitting it, and I'm hoping it's going to be a really nice jumper. The other two works in progress that I have are ones that I showed you last week, and they're now a bit more done. I've done one sock of each of the pairs that I've been working on. So this sock, which is beautiful, this is the first finished sock of my business casual socks that I'm knitting out of Stranded Dyeworks Oasis sock yarn in their colourway Scorcher, and it's such a beautiful pattern. And I'm dead chuffed with how this first one's turned out. I've just cast on. I don't think I've got it. No, it's in my bag. But I've not even done the cuff of the second one yet. So there's only a tiny bit cast on of the second one. But it's a lovely pattern. And I've only done a plain heel on it. I think on the pattern it calls for a slip stitch heel. But when I was starting the heel, I was not in a place where I could access the pattern to find out what it was. Because it was as they were about to start the talk at Spinning Guild.
Oh, right.
And so I couldn't look at my phone to see what the pattern was, so I thought I'll just stick a plain heel in, and if it's massively wrong I can take it out and redo it. But all the difference was that it was a slip stitch heel rather than a plain one, so I just kept the plain heel in. So
it's very pretty.
It is. It doesn't have a lot of stretch on it, because I did this in my usual sock size, which is 2mm needles with 72 stitches cast on. But because of the crisscrossing cables, it prevents it from stretching too much, which means it is ever so slightly tight to get on. It fits, but it's a bit tighter than like most of like a regular sock. So I think if I do this pattern again, I will do more stitches. I'll cast on more stitches to make it a little bit easier to get on, because it's not got much stretch, but it still fits, and I'm very happy with it.
2¼
I could. I'd have to see what my gauge was like on 2¼ because part of the problem I have is because on the sock needles I have quite a loose gauge, and the pattern starts to disappear slightly, because if I do bigger needles the pattern starts to get not as, like, it doesn't look as nice because it's looser. Which is why I went down from 2.5mm to 2mm in the first place, because my socks were getting, the pattern on them were getting quite loose. Anyway, the fibre is beautiful, the sock pattern is also beautiful, so I'm very, very happy. So the second one I will I have just cast on, but I haven't done any work on it for a while. My other half finished object is this. This is it's got a stitch marker holding a drop stitch, but ignore that. This is just a shorty sock with that's going to have an afterthought heel. And this is knit out of Wish Knits Parker and Penelope, which you will have heard me mention a lot on the podcast. This is the leftover Parker and Penelope. So I can do, this is exactly half of what was left. So I'm going to cast on another one and do exactly the same again, and then whack a pink heel in the back. And they all fit nicely as shorty socks. Yeah. So that's about it, I think.
Is that a pig on there or a sheep?
No, it's a sheep.
Okay.
It's a sheep. Sheep stitch marker. It's a crochet stitch marker. But they're very cute. I got them from my local yarn shop.
Oh, yes.
Along with some cat ones. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, but that's holding a drop stitch. So I'll have to deal with that at some point. But, yeah, so casting on. This is like my travel. This will be my travel knitting because it's just round in circles. So this is my mindless doing something else at the same time kind of knitting. I think that's it for whips.
Yeah. Neither of us have any FOs because we're terrible.
Yeah, no, there is no finished object because neither of us have any finished object. But that is 110% because of Tour de Fleece.
Yes.
And me getting a wheel.
Yes.
And stuff like that.
We're blaming the cycling.
Yes.
Not that we've done any cycling. But, you know, other people are doing cycling and therefore we can't finish them.
It's true. Right, so there are quite a lot of stash enhancements though to go through. So do you want to go first?
I could go first, yes.
Go for it.
Right.
Show us how you have enhanced your stash.
I have enhanced my stash in a lot of ways. I have bought... What should I start with? Oh, I haven't got my rolags out. Okay,
Get your rolags out.
I'll come back with the rolags later. But this is all from Alternate Universe, where we went yesterday for the sort of mid-Tour de Fleece general spin-in at Alternate Universe, which was lovely. We sat and chatted with fellow spinner and a lady who was learning to spin and didn't like to spin, so she tried it and found it was not to her liking, and just, you know, general people in the shop.
Yeah.
This is the first thing I got. It's a braid of fibre called Forbidden Forest, so I had to buy it for Harry Potter reasons. It is 60% British Shetland, 20% Eco Bamboo and 20% nylon. So this would make a nice strong pair of socks with a bit of shine with the nylon. I also bought another braid. This was sitting in the window. And it's such a pretty green that it's not normally a colour I am massively drawn to, but I really liked it. It's a really, really lovely pretty green. So this is called Hulk C. Also bought some Hulk B. I can't really, I mean the Hulk is green. I don't know why purple and brown, but this is 25% British Shetland, 50% British BFL and 25% nylon. So this again would be a lovely sock yarn.
It kind of looks like the strawberries and cream one that you got as well.
Yes, that is similar. I think that's like half wool, half nylon, whereas this is only, or half wool and half bamboo and nylon. So I'm not sure I'm going to make the strawberries and cream into socks. Although I might. And then also I've bought, this is Hulk B, which I've already started spinning. So this is like, I don't know, a quarter or maybe 20% of the Hulk B. And this
on his clothes, that colour. His shorts and his
Okay, that's why it's called Hulk B.
I'm sure
I don't know if Kim does a Hulk A, but
maybe.
If she's watching, maybe she'll comment below and tell us. But yeah, this is again. Oh, I've lost my label. It is 25% British BFL, 50% British Shetland, and 25% nylon. And this would have been lovely socks. In fact, I have spun this before and made a pair in last year's Tour de Fleece and made a pair of socks out of them, a pair of short socks, Rose City Rollers, and I'm currently wearing another pair of socks that I've got. They're 3 different hand spun sock yarns. They've got a little bit of that in the heels and the foot. So it does make a very nice pair of socks, but I'm spinning it long draw from the fold at the moment. So A, it's not thin enough for socks, and B, it's probably not strong enough for socks in that I'm spinning it long draw, so it's not as tightly twisted. And I don't know, because it's top and I'm spinning it from the fold, it might be enough. It's not a true worsted or a true woolen yarn, so it's not. It might be enough towards the worsted end to be strong enough for socks, especially with the nylon content. But I'm not going to find out, because that's not what I'm going to use it for. So yeah, that's spinning up. That looks like this on the bobbin. It's for Libretto. But I would say that was sort of almost sock weight as a single.
A bit in the middle.
All right,
There we go. You can see the colour now.
yes, I would say that's almost sock weight as a single. So it's, you know, it would not be practical for socks. What else did I get? I got some rolags, which oh, I got something. Oh, I got loads of stuff.
You did.
I got another braid, which I inexplicably left in the bag. This is called Coral Braids, and again, it's not my usual colour. Is purple, maybe blue, but it's such a nice. It's a really nice sort of corally bright colour, and so I thought, yes, that would be nice. This is 17.6% British Shetland.
That is very specific.
It is. 50% BFL and 33.3% Eco Bamboo. So this is maybe going to be socks. I don't know whether, I'm not sure whether bamboo is the same sort of, will give it the same sort of strength that a nylon would give it. But maybe I'll find out. I don't know. I sort of bought this without really having a plan for what I was going to do with it. So who knows? But it's very pretty, and I'm sure I'm going to love spinning it. And finally, I bought a little package of rolags. These are Kim's Zero Waste rolags, so it's a lot of sort of bits and pieces that she gets from the mill that she buys her stuff from, that she blends on the drum carder and then pulls up into rolags. So this set is called Those Blues, though, and it is basically a lot of stuff. There's some little woolly nets, these little tiny bits. I'm kind of considering a personal challenge, because normally I pick things out of my spinning because I want it to be all neat and perfect and not have bits in. So I'm going to spin this and not pick the bits out and enjoy the interesting texture. But yeah, it's mostly, it's 25% rose, and then the neps, and then other wools and botany lap waste. I don't know what that is, but it's 17.5% of it is that. So goodness only knows what that is. But yeah, so it's a pretty sort of bluey, grey, white colours, and it's going to be very interesting to spin, and I will find out if I like spinning things with botany lap waste. That is it for my, enhancement of the stash.
Okie dokie. My enhancement of the stash is pretty similar, I'll be honest. Obviously I bought a whole load of yarn to do the jumper, but that's not very exciting. So I won't show you that.
Also, you can kind of see it in the
Yeah, it's this, but
yes,
like lots of balls of it. That's about it. It's not massively thrilling. Right, I did actually buy some actual yarn though, which is pretty exciting. I have my first ever skein of Fab Funky Fibres, which is very exciting. I've been hearing about their stuff. Everybody uses it. So it's all over the
YouTubes?
the knitting podcast world.
Oh, right,
that's what I was going for. I got this in a sale because they had a sale on in the shop on Etsy, and this is 80% merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere superwash sock weight. So it'll be some lovely socks, maybe another pattern sock.
Yeah, lovely bright sunshine.
It's really lovely. Yeah, I'm going for like the sunshiny colours on my socks. What with the gingerbread men and the Scorcher and this. Yeah, I'm liking those kind of colours.
On grey November days.
Yeah, I'm liking the bright colour of sock yarn. It doesn't seem to have a colour name, but it's yellow.
Yes.
And it's variegated, I think, because it's like lots of different yellows.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was variegated. I'd say it was more like different tones of yellow.
Tonal.
Yes.
So I'll hold it up and you can
Because
see.
it's all.
It looks
yellow.
a bit more lemony on the screen than it does in real life. It's warmer.
Yes.
In actual life, it looks a bit lemon on the screen,
Yeah.
but it's lovely. So first ever skein of Fab Funky Fibres. Yeah, and I got it in a sale, and it's really nice. So that's good.
Oh, as you may have been able to tell from the fact that we can see what's going on the screen, we've gone back to the iPad method of recording. So hopefully the video quality will be better than last week's and the week before, because that was a bit poor.
We're still working all the stuff out, so we'll get there.
Hopefully we're coming to you in, HD super,
Yes.
you can see all our pores and up our nose and, everything.
Suddenly I don't want a podcast anymore. Right.
I'm sorry.
I got a lot of fibre too. So,
Yes.
firstly, when you get your wheel from Spinning Wheel in Clevedon, which I'd hold the card up for, but it's all the way over there. So I'll put the website on the bottom.
Yes.
You get 100 grams of fibre with your wheel to play with. So this is what I got. Isn't it pretty? Half and half, so 50 grams of each. And it's a wool blend, I think, isn't it? Corriedale and something?
It's either, no, I think it's either Corriedale or it's Merino.
Oh, Corriedale or Merino. I think it might be Corriedale.
Yeah.
I feel like it possibly Corriedale. I don't know.
They have a big sort of, like in a old-fashioned sweetie shop.
Yeah.
They have jars of fibre instead of jars of sweets.
Yeah. So you get your jars off the shelf with all the different colours and take it up, and then they weigh it out for you like a sweet shop.
Yeah.
But fibre.
Yes.
So yes, I got half and half. I was going to blend them together, but I don't know if I am now. Well, I could do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about it for reasons that will become clear later. Anyway, so that was the first lot I got. That came from Spinning Wheel along with my wheel, and it's beautiful colours. The rest of the stuff came from Kim's shop, Alternate Universe. So let's start with this one, because this is the stuff I'm spinning currently. Now I have
also,
lost,
lovely yellow colour.
Yes, I've lost a bit of paper for it, so I'm not sure. It's I think it's got nylon in it, and I can't remember what else it's got in it. I feel like
Wool.
it's bamboo.
Yeah, bamboo, nylon.
Anyway, it's definitely got nylon in
PFL,
because it was because I would like to use it for socks. But I'm in the process of spinning this at the moment, so this is what's left. It was a braid, but I've taken it apart so I can spin. And I've spun a lot of it yesterday at Alternate Universe for the Tour de Fleece event that we were at. And this is some of the stuff that's remaining. So, and it's lovely and soft and beautiful. So that was one of my purchases. That's quite a good colour actually.
Yeah.
And it is bright sunny yellow. It's beautiful. My next one, I also bought a braid, a beautiful purple braid, and this is 100% bamboo because you may remember last time I showed you the rolags that I picked up from Alternate Universe that were 100% bamboo, and they were just gorgeous to spin with, and so I wanted more bamboo basically to spin, and so this is 100%. And it's beautiful blended colours. There's like purples and blues in there, and it's lovely. And it comes with a lovely braid. So I'm really excited to spin with that because it's bamboo, and I love spinning with bamboo, as it appears.
Yeah.
So that is that one. And then I also got some more rolags that are the same as some that Roz had a while ago. I think you showed them on the podcast, didn't you?
We definitely showed them on the podcast.
Spinning them at the time.
Yes.
These are Pride rolags, rainbow rolags. Are they 100%? No, they're not. These are 50% British Shetland, 20% bamboo, 25% nylon, and 5% other.
I think the other is wool.
I think the other is still wool. Yes, it's not like
I remember.
it's not like cheese and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like an actual fibre.
Okay, well, it didn't have to be wool. It could have been like rose or.
Yeah, no, it is wool. So it's 5% British other.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not just like picked up random stuff off the floor and gone, let's put that into
I
biscuit
wasn't
crumbs and
saying
stuff.
that was
Right.
what she put in.
Yeah, so these are beautiful rainbow rolags, which will be lovely to spin with.
They were very lovely to spin with.
Yeah.
I can confirm that.
See, I could put that in my sock as well. See, I'm trying to put together like a blend of stuff to make a good sock yarn, and I have so much nice stuff that I don't know what to put in it. I'm spoilt for choice. It's a tough life.
I'm going to make a lot of pairs of socks out of all these.
Yeah, really.
Because that yellow stuff is 100 grams. So,
yeah,
and that's just going to be one ply.
It is, and then I've got the other stuff on there. Anyway, we'll show you why in a minute.
Yeah.
So that is my last bit, I think, of stash enhancement. I'm going to read the thing. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So those are our stash enhancements and the stuff we've been working on. But as I said earlier, our main section for today is going to be spinning, because that's kind of been what our entire week has been about, I think. Right, this is just a quick extra bit in the middle to show you the wheels from the other end, because you won't be able to see them when we film from the front. I have no idea if I have my hand over the microphone. Who knows? Right. So this is my wheel, my new wheel. She is called Xena. Da, da, da. It's a bit wobbly. I apologise about that. This is Roz's wheel. And your wheel is called
Kiki.
I can see my loo paper in the back. This is my terrible kitchen. Oh, dear. Right. So this is a bad idea for me to film from this angle, because you can see how messy my house is. Right. So we're going to do like a quick, this is what it looks like before we do the stuff about the wheel. So do some spinning, Roz.
Okay. While I'm spinning, I'll say these are both Ashford Kiwi 2s.
Yep.
They both have a little kiwi carved on the treadles.
Mine has hair because it's got the fleece over the top of it.
Yeah. Oh, you have a golden-headed kiwi.
Yeah.
The rare
Yeah.
spinning animal. We bought them both from Spinning Wheel.
Mm-hmm. So it's got 2 treadles.
Yes, double treadle. And the Kiwi 2 has this onboard lazy Kate, so you can see. And something I discovered recently at Spinning Guild, you can put a second bobbin, not for plying purposes, but you can put a second bobbin on top there, and you can store 4 bobbins. So if you're going, say, to Spinning Guild or some other spinning event, you can take along 4 bobbins without having to, you know, on the wheel and carry them all as one, which is something I enjoy.
This is the flyer.
Yeah.
You can tell because it flies in a circle. And this particular model has a sliding hook flyer, so I'll show you on this one. So rather than having lots of hooks, it has this special clippy thing. You can slide it. Okay, my hand's right in the way. I'll do it this way. You can slide it backwards and forwards, except you can't because I've just taken it off the end. Okay, I'll have to do it on yours because I can't do it on mine. It's right there.
My hands are getting clammy. But okay. This is, you squeeze these 2 bits together and
So you
slide.
can move it.
So you should be able to get a really nice, evenly
spaced.
fibre on your bobbin. I'm clearly not doing that, but that is not the fault of the machinery. That is my fault. As you can see, Ems is beautiful and even, and you know, she's a good girl.
So that's pretty much what the wheel looks like.
Yeah. I'll just say I used to have an Ashford traditional, and so I've still got a few of the bobbins that I had with that, which also fit on here. But the Kiwis, the bobbins that the Kiwi comes with, are bigger, and you can get just over 100 grams on them.
Yeah. The Ashford traditional, it looks more like what someone would expect a spinning wheel to look like.
Yeah, this is a more
if you think of a
design.
spinning wheel, you think of like the sideways wheel with a bobbin bit on the side and a treadly bit. Whereas if you think spinning wheel, you may not automatically think of something that looks a bit like this.
Yeah. If you're in the UK, the Ashford traditional is the model you probably most often come across on eBay or Craigslist, or do we have Craigslist in this country?
Yeah.
Gumtree, you know, that's the kind of one you can pick up secondhand quite cheaply, quite
Cool.
often.
Right. So those are the wheels.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back.
We are back.
As you may
Tiny
notice,
wheels.
there are a couple of flyers flying around in circles. Those are our wheels. We are now both spinning wheeled. Just a quick introduction. Roz is currently doing what is called long draw.
Yes.
I am doing short draw.
Yes.
Long draw is quite difficult, and I'm new at spinning, so I'm doing the easy one, and Roz is doing the fancy one.
It's not that it's difficult, it's just, it's not what you tend to learn first, and so it's
The difference being you get a much thicker yarn, would you say, with yours?
I would say because I'm not as good at doing long draw and not as practiced, I don't have as much control over the size of the yarn. But this is not too thick.
Cool.
I don't think it's I don't think it is necessarily
To get more air in it.
You do get more air in it, so that will sort of, you know, bump it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But you also tend to get more yardage from the fibre by spinning it long draw, because there's more air and so there's less fibre in each little bit, so it goes a bit longer. But not massively. This is because it's top that I'm long drawing from the fold. I don't know that it'd be massively different to spinning it short draw from the fold. But I think it's a lot quicker, which is...
Can you show what from the fold means?
It means you take a bit of fibre, fold it in half, stick it over your finger, stick it over my index finger, and...
You pull your fibre from the fold.
Yes, it sort of funnels off that way.
Whereas mine's coming out of the end.
Yes. If I can take a piece, this is what's left of my braid, because I'm now on the third bobbin. I'm spinning it for a 3-ply. So I take the end, this end here, and pull this way, and just pull off sort of as much as comes off by gripping the end, so I get sort of one staple length. And then fold that over my finger, and it sort of funnels off this way when it attaches to the yarn with the twist. And I'm really enjoying this way of spinning. I'm finding I don't have to use this hand to control my long draw as much as I would do when I've spun other methods of long draw. So it's creating quite an even yarn, because it is top, and it's quite an airy top. You know, it's not been compacted. I literally bought it yesterday, and it's not been compacted in the shop because it's hanging up in a braid. It's not got anything pressing on it. So I'll come on to talk about compacted fibre slightly later. But yeah, this is lovely, and it's just sort of funneling off, and I'm sort of doing like this motion with my arm, and it's lovely and relaxing, and I'm really pleased with how it's coming out so far.
Cool. Do you want to show you spinning then while you're
okay.
While you're there? Is that alright if you
Yeah,
do that?
I can talk about what I spun. I spun a lot of things.
Go for it.
Last time I was at Alternate Universe, I bought 4 lots of rolags, and I spun all them up, and a bat, and I spun that up. So let's start. I'll do it in sort of order that I spun it, for no other reason than it's convenient for me. This was a set of pastel rolags, and I've spun these again long draw from the rolag. When I talked about spinning the rainbow rolags that you just bought, I couldn't long draw them. They were, you know, not exactly the same, but the same type of rolag. And what I found I needed to do was sort of tease out the rolag, not out, but sort of stretch the rolag a bit before long drawing to sort of give it a bit more air. So I did that with these, and I've chain plied them together to keep the colours together. It starts off with this darker reddy pink and goes into sort of corally colour, and then this sort of sandy colour, and this blue, and finally a sort of grey colour. I don't know how well you can see now that the camera's a bit further back, but I've posted all of these things on Instagram, I think, as I was spinning them, or as skeins, because that's how you go for Tour de Fleece. You have to, you know, as the team, Kim requires it, she's making me do it. So this is almost 47 metres of a chain ply, which means 140 metres and 76 centimetres for stash edge, so I get to count all 3 of the plies. So that's very pretty. And that was out of 50 grams, so that's not too bad. I think it's, well, it varies. It's not hugely consistent, but I would say Aran-ish overall. And some parts are really, really thin. Like that is like a sock weight. Yeah. And then some parts are quite chunky. So, you know, it's not going to be, it's not my most consistent spinning, but what I was aiming to do with Tour de Fleece this year was improve my long draw. And I think I am. This is the next one. These were some rolags called junk draw, which were sort of similar to the zero waste rolags, I think, in that it's just a lot of stuff that Kim had, you know, lots of little bits left over, but this is all sort of one colour, and it doesn't have it's been blended a lot more together to sort of give it one overall colour. And this very similar amount of yardage, although it's a 2-ply, so I get more yardage in the skein. It's 70.72 metres, but for Stash Dash it's 141 metres and 44 centimetres. So I pretty much spun these exactly the same thickness of the singles, but this is just thinner because it's a 2-ply. What did I spin next? I spun, oh, this is still on the bobbin because I plied it yesterday, and Em doesn't have a skein winder, so
no.
We can do a thing where we turn 2 chairs upside down, but I haven't bothered doing that. So.
And it is the biggest palaver in the world.
The first time I did it on 1 chair, and because the legs go out towards the bottom, and I was turned upside down, I was doing it around the base of the thing, and they
couldn't get it off.
Basically, it was
stuck
too
on the
small
chair.
to go, so I had to like de-skeinify the skein, and yeah. Oh, that's just the internet falling over.
Are you breaking my flat?
Not the whole flat, just the internet.
It's the internet part, which is like one of them. And we're back.
We're back. We had another technical issue. Oh no, we had a technical issue. Earlier we stopped, but we deliberately stopped. Okay, so this is what I call the rolags that give 105%, what Kim calls the 10th rolags, because they're spun for the 10th Doctor, which is David Tennant. Apparently he's green and brown. So this is something I plied with. It's something I bought yesterday at Kim. She has a lot of cones of machine knitting yarn that people have donated or that she's bought. I plied it with some of my 50-gram ball of, I don't know what this is, but it's shiny and it's green. So I thought it went nicely with this.
Yeah.
So I get to keep the whole length of the rolags that I spun with the sort of shiny greeny thing with it. So that was, well, it was really tedious. I just twisted a whole load of this onto a bobbin and I got fed up with it, so I started plying, and then I found out I hadn't done enough, and it got a little bit tedious towards the end, but I'm really pleased with the finished result. And I don't know how many meters it is yet because it's on the bobbin, but maybe 150-ish. I don't know. I feel like my long draw is improving in that I'm being able to get it thinner and longer and kind of more consistent. So I'm just going to guess 150 meters, maybe 200, because this was 50 grams, and my next lot of spinning was also out of 50 grams of rolags. This is, the rolags were called Hallows Eve Dusk. So they were rolags that started with this yellow colour. It's got a ply of brown in there. I went to a brown. I got a whole brown there. And then finished off this lovely purple. So I spun these long draw. There were 4 rolags in the packet, and I spun each one onto a bobbin, and this is the 4-ply that I got from that, which is the first time I've ever spun a 4-ply, well, plied a 4-ply. So that was an experience. It's a very round yarn, which you might expect if you're a spinner and you know about plies. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. One of the rolags was obviously bigger than the others because it then, when I'd finished the others and I got the first 3 sort of all finished within about this much, like a metre or so of each other, so I just threw away the last like metre and a bit of the 2 bobbins that were almost finished at the time the first bobbin gave out, and then there was all this much left on the 4th bobbin, which I then chain plied. So this is a 3-ply, but this is yellow and brown, so all of the yellow from the 4th bobbin was still left, and a bit of the brown, so that was like nearly as much again. So I can't let it undo, but yeah, this is again very shiny. But there's quite a bit of nylon and possibly also some bamboo or rose or something in here, as well as a type of form, probably BFL or Shetland. I can't remember. I don't. Oh no, I do have the tag with me. Yes, this is 21% bamboo, 23% nylon, 5% British Welsh, 31% British Shetland, 20% British BFL. So yeah, just over half wool, and just under half nylon and bamboo. So it's shiny and strong, and it's really pretty. And I think when I have spun, this was 50 grams. When I spun 100 grams of this and plied it up, I think I will knit them together into something, possibly a shawl, because it's basically the same sort of purples and browns in the purples and brown bits are in this fibre, and then the nice golden yellowy colour will be a nice sort of pop of colour. So that's the plan. When I've spun this up, I can have a look at how much I've got. Oh, I've got in the 4-ply 44 metres, and in the chain ply another 11 metres, so that is, yeah, a huge amount of
meterage.
Yes, for the chain ply. There was obviously, you know, either one rolag got, it doesn't look, I don't know. They're handmade rolags, so obviously they are not to the same consistency as if a machine had made them. Because Kim is a person, and you know,
not a machine.
Yes, you know, when you are hand doing things, there is that kind of variation. Same as with spinning. You know, if I wanted a completely consistently spun yarn, I would buy it, because I'm not a machine and can't spin 100% consistent. 100%
Consistently.
Yes. So
you've got spinner's brain.
Yeah. So for stash dash, that counts as 209 metres, 83 centimetres. And so my stash dash total, because that's all of the yarn that I have measured, so that is as far as I can update my stash dash total, is 4,708 metres, 58 centimetres.
Hey.
So I've got just over a month to go.
Yeah.
And just over 10,000 metres to go.
Better spin faster.
Yeah, I'm thinking possibly with the stuff I've got here and the crochet blanket, I might be on for 10,000, so I've got to do another 5,000 metres.
Okay.
So we'll see. Maybe I'll make it, maybe I won't. Oh, I do have more things to show.
Oh, do you?
I do have, yes, I spun
More
a bat.
spinning. More spinning.
All the spinning. I spun a bat that I bought from Kim's Alternate Universe, and this is my first go at core spinning. Here we are. Here's the core that I used. It's a cone of yarn that I bought off eBay. I think it's a superwash wool, and it's very fine. I think it's a lace weight, possibly a cobweb weight. And I did some core spinning with the bat. I tried it from the fold. I tried it sort of breaking the top down into sort of strips and spinning it like it was top, but not top because it's a bat. And I didn't enjoy it. I don't know. I wasn't getting a very consistent result, and I wasn't enjoying the process. I don't know whether I put too much twist or not enough twist into the core yarn before I started, but it just wasn't, I wasn't enjoying it at all. And I wasn't, well, I kind of like this yarn, it's okay, it's fine, I'm not, it hasn't been washed. Oh no, it has been, this has been washed, and it's okay. It's about 9 metres of chain plied core spun yarn. I might try it again in the future if I was, say, with someone who knew what they were doing with core spinning and could advise me, but probably not for a while, because it did not make me at all happy in the spinning. So I stopped core spinning the bat and spun it. I broke it up into chunks and spun it from the fold, and then 3-plied it, chain plied it even. And this has not been washed, but I'm guessing this is about 30 or 40 metres. And it was nicer to spin. I liked it. I liked spinning it better this way.
You liked it, didn't you?
I liked it, I'm really enjoying doing long draw from the fold. That's what I'm discovering is my favourite way of long drawing. So, yeah, that was more of that, which I enjoyed. Oh no, that's not all my spinning.
Goodness me.
This is only a tiny, tiny bit of spinning. This is some Gotland, which was really, really... at Spinning Guild every month there is a raffle, and one month I won the raffle. I came second in the raffle, and this is the prize I picked, was 600 grams of Gotland top. But this had been, I don't know where it come from, whose it had been in originally, but it is quite compacted. So I'm having to sort of, before I can even tear strips off to spin from the fold, sort of fluff it up. And so possibly I may try carding them into rolags, just to make it more pleasant to spin. But I'm hoping to spin this all up and 3-ply it and maybe make a little cardigan, and you know, get very, very good at spinning long drawing Gotland, because there's 600 grams of it and that's all Gotland. So yeah, it's a nice grey colour. I like the colour. It's quite similar to your grey. We could have, you know, not quite matching grey.
Oh, my jumper?
Yes. So I went on a little bit. I was doing that between finishing spinning something else and going to Kim's. And then we went to Kim's and there were some pretty things.
Yeah.
So this is, you know, it's all grey all the way. So it's not going to be hugely exciting, but 600 grams should be enough for a small cardigan for me, depending on how thin I spin it. But we'll see. If it's not a cardigan, maybe it can be a massive shawl or a big scarf. But yeah, that is all my spinning.
Are you sure? They're all of it now. You done?
That's all the stuff there.
Fantastic.
You can do some talking now.
I can, because for the first time I have some spinning.
Yay, spinning!
So, let me put this away. This is the stuff that I'm currently spinning, is the yellow nylon from the braid that I bought yesterday. So that is currently on the wheel. The first thing that I want to show though is over here. And that is, this is the first thing that I spun on the wheel once I got it. And this, it hasn't had its bath yet, but it has been plied. This is the little pack that we got last time we went to Alternate Universe for the kick-off party for the Tour de Fleece. And it was a little pack full of a mixture of fibres and colours and all that kind of stuff. So there was some linen in there, which is this brown stuff. That's linen. The pink was unwashed fleece, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was the same as the pink unwashed stuff in mine.
Yeah, and so there's all kinds of different fibres. I think they're, yeah, loads of different fibres, loads of different colours. I spun it up and I chain plied it. Yeah, and that's what came out. It's pretty roughly plied, but it's not too bad. It needs to be soaked because it hasn't been washed yet, and because I haven't washed it yet, I don't know how long it is. So I don't have any updates in terms of meterage because all my stuff is still on bobbins and hasn't been plied and measured. So hopefully an update next week. But that's the first one, so I just wanted to show that. This is the only thing I have that's actually off the bobbin, because a lot of the stuff I have, it needed to be plied and what have you. So that's the first tiny bit. The second bit is the peach bat that I bought last week from Alternate Universe that I showed you, a big floofy thing that looked like candy floss. That has been spun up and plied. It's quite nice actually. Now it's sat on the bobbin for a little while. It's alright. Some of it's a bit like rough. I think some of it I've spun far too tightly, so it's quite like stringy. But there's other parts of it that are nice and fluffy. It was a lovely, lovely colour. This stuff went everywhere. Like, it was unbelievable. I was just covered in like a silky sheen of kind of nylon-y or whatever. Yeah, so it floofed everywhere. But this is
the stuff that stayed on the bobbin.
This is the stuff that stayed on the bobbin and didn't attach itself to all my clothes. And it's nice. I will soak it and, well, skein it up and soak it and see what it's like once it's been soaked and sort of sat around for a little bit. But as I say, some bits of it, you can see some bits of it here are very stringy because they got over-plied, I think, overspun and probably over-plied as well. But some of it here, this yellow stuff is nice and floofy, and this stuff on here is nice and floofy. So we shall see, but it's not too bad. So that is what applied bobbin that I have finished. That just needs to come off, but as mentioned before, I don't have a skein holder, so I cannot skein it here. Or Roz is going to have to bring her skein holder here, so I can skein it here.
Is that a hint?
maybe. The next one I have to show is lovely. It was from the the rolags that I showed last week, French Quarter rolags that had come in a little packet. And they were beautiful, sort of goldeny, purple, some brown, bronzy brown in there as well. I think there's like a tiny bit of like a greeny colour in with the yellow as well. And that stuff was gorgeous. And there's some kind of pinky reddy colours at the top that you might just be able to see. This spun up so nicely. This is the bamboo, and this is when I realised that I love spinning bamboo because it's absolutely beautiful and it's so soft and easy to handle. So I managed to spin it nice and finely. It's a bit thick and thin in places, but you know, it's not
I'm
too bad.
so impressed, by the way, how well she has spun bamboo as a beginner spinner.
But it's so easy to handle bamboo because it's got a really long, smooth kind of fibre, and it just sort of slides nicely, not like tiny little fuzzy bits like you get with some fleeces where it doesn't flow nicely. This stuff is just beautiful. It's, you know, it's silky and lovely, so it's quite easy to handle. You're being rude about me.
No,
right.
I was saying you don't know how good you are at spinning.
Oh, obviously. So that's not. Here you go. You just about to see that. So that fits
So
nice and
fine.
fine.
So
But it's beautiful. It feels like silk. It's so gorgeous. So this is going to be part of. What I'm hoping. I'll say this now. It might all go wrong, so don't hold me to it. I'd like to apply this and this because this yellow stuff has nylon in it, and possibly the purple stuff that I showed just now that was from Clevedon, spinning wheel, and make a sock yarn out of it. I could blend the two colours together and then spin it and then make a sock yarn out of like all of it and make it like a crazy colour sock yarn, which I could do. But we'll see. Maybe. Because my original plan was to mix together that kind of turquoisey and the pinky purpley colour. I can't grab now. Oh, these colours, I'm saying. But it might just be a bit much. I don't know.
I think you can get away with like crazy colours on your feet more than you can in other places. Like a crazy coloured cardigan would be like, what?
Yeah.
You know, an assault to the senses, you know, as you walk down the street, but in socks.
Well, we shall see. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I will show quickly is this thing that's just over my shoulder.
Oh, yes.
Which has another bobbin on it, which I have not used yet. This is called a lazy Kate, for those who didn't know. It is designed to hold your bobbins so you can ply on your wheel off the bobbins and they will just sit on here. And this is gorgeous, and it still smells like just cut wood. It smells like a wood shop. It's handmade.
Yeah. Is it? It doesn't feel rough though. It feels.
No, it's all been sanded and stuff.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's handmade, and it's from a shop on Etsy called Cotswold Craft Cottage, who are local to us, and this holds 4 slightly smaller bobbins in this. So the one hold that slightly smaller bobbin that you've got there. So it will hold 4 bobbins that are this big,
Or smaller.
and it will hold 3 bobbins that are this size. So you can swap the sticks around to different like configurations depending on how many. So it's got 4 in now, but there's some holes there, so you can do it just for 3 if you want to. So yeah, it's gorgeous and beautiful, and it's so fantastically made, and it was such a fantastic price for something that is so beautiful. If you're into sort of weaving, spinning, anything that involves a lot of tools, I suppose, other than like knitting needles and things, but things that involve like bobbins and flyers and all that kind of stuff, I fully recommend this place because the stuff they make is beautiful, and they sell things like niddy noddies and skein winders and all that kind of stuff, and it's the stuff they sell is gorgeous and really, really well priced. So they are on Etsy, so it's well worth having a look at their shop and the stuff that they do. So I wanted to talk about that as well because I've had my eye on it for so long, and was waiting until I had a wheel to then get one.
Yes.
Now I have it, and I'm very happy. Right, you can have your bobbin back now. Oh, and I've got fibre up my nose. Right, so I think that's pretty much it. In that case,
That is, you know,
we've done a lot of spinning.
we're going to continue doing a lot of spinning.
It's going to be next week will be very similar because there's another week left of Tour de Fleece. This time next week it will be the finish line.
Yes.
There will be an event at Alternate Universe that we will be going to mark the end of Tour de Fleece. 2017. And then we might actually do some knitting.
Yeah, well, you have done some knitting. I might do some knitting again.
We might be doing knitting, but for now we are spinsters.
Yes.
So thank you ever so much for watching. We have rambled on about a lot of stuff today, so thank you for putting up with us. And hopefully we will see you again next time, when there will probably be quite a lot of spinning again, but maybe we will have knit something.
You'll have finished your jumper, obviously.
Well, yeah, what I'm going to do is knit with my toes while I treadle.
Yeah.
Because I'm multi-talented in that fashion.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We will see you again at some point, probably in just over a week or so. Yes. I imagine we'll probably film after Sunday, after we've been to the Tour de Fleece finishing
you
party
can
thing.
see all our finished.
So we will end the Tour de Fleece. We will get back to some knitting, and things might be. I was going to say things might be a bit less crazy, but they won't. Cause
no, she's involved.
That's true. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
We will see you again very soon, and have a lovely week.